Hello there, folks. Happy to have you join me. My name is Tony, and we are in a 2025 Tesla Model 3 rear-wheel drive long range. I am just heading to my favorite supercharger to charge up. I have free supercharging right now on this car since it's new, and taking advantage of that. It's a beautiful evening, and we are on FSD version 13.2.2. Should be a fun drive. Come on along. And we're off. Pulled out of the garage fine. We're on our way. Just cruising out of the neighborhood right now. One thing about this version of FSD, it's super smooth. It is the best version I've seen so far and experienced, miles beyond earlier versions. I'm pretty excited about that. Just avoided some garbage cans that are out on the road. It is garbage collection day here. Now it's got to pull out onto what is a busy road. Ah, beautifully done. And we are on our way. On city streets, hurry, at least in our neck of the woods, doesn't seem to overly hurry. I've seen some people report like hurry getting up to like 10 miles per hour plus, or 20 kilometers per hour even over the speed limit on city and rural roads, which is usually more than you want to be. Most people want to be doing. Most people are in the like 5 to 7 is really what they feel comfortable with. And so the car in this region seems to do really well from a speed standpoint. If anything, I would say hurry doesn't hurry quite enough, but it's not bad. It'll usually go a couple miles over the speed limit. Speed limit's 40 right here. You'll see it's getting up to like 42, 45. That's about where it gets to. It rarely is going to get completely out of hand here. I do keep my speed offset at 25%, which will keep it from top ending too much. Let's see what it says right now. Yeah, 50 is the max right now. And 25% works really well for me. That allows it to, burst up there if there's a safety concern, or if there's an opportunity to pass. 10 over the speed limit, basically, at this speed. It is a rare period of time for us here in the Pacific Northwest for the winter time. Without snow or rain, it is pretty chilly out. Not bad. It'll be below freezing tonight, but just barely, like maybe 30 degrees out. Today's high was probably around 44. Perfectly sunny and clear. I bet you we'll get some fog tonight because there's no wind, and it's going to be quite chilly. As you can see, the area I live in is a mixture of rural creeks and forest area and urban city, but heavily forested urban city. That's the beautiful thing about living here in the Pacific Northwest, is even within cities with big neighborhoods, oftentimes you see very mature forests and tree lines all around the city. Let's see if it can sneak past. It can, and it will. Well done. Let's see if it'll sneak forward to take a peek here. And it did, and it's going. Nicely done. Wow, that was beautiful by hurry mode right there. There's not really a right lane there for turning, but luckily for us, people weren't just floating out there in the middle somewhere, and so that allowed us to really sneak by on the right there, and hurry mode took advantage of that, which was sweet. We'll see if we get a no interventions, no disengagements drive. I'm ready if needed to take over at any point in time. I keep my hands just below the steering wheel, relaxed but ready to jump up there at a moment's notice. And yeah, oh, nicely done. Tesla just eased off slightly for that car. We continue to cruise onward. I am going to adjust my mirror slightly for my own rear view satisfaction there. Where I got bumped around, I was doing a lot of windshield cleaning and stuff like that, vacuuming out the car and just dusting it and getting it the inside clean. I don't worry about the outside so much this time of year. It's so dusty and muddy and wet. You know, if it's dry like this, we're getting dust, and then it'll revert right back to wet with either rain or snow or something, you know. So you clean it, and a day later, oh, there's one of the things I wanted to comment about. 13.2.2 is the best version of FSD ever. It does have an annoying lane wander issue, though, where for some reason, and in Model 3, for me specifically, it likes to hang to the right. And it'll hang so far to the right in the lane that sometimes we'll dip down into like storm drain, grit, where the grill is for the storm drain. And that is a bumpy ride and completely unnecessary. And hopefully in an upcoming release, they will fix that, because it just definitely likes to lean right in the lane. And that's not only where, like I say, you'll have manholes, storm drains, stuff like that, but you'll also have, just crap. Things that have fallen off of cars and fallen out of the back of trucks and stuff gets pushed off to the sides of the road. And so hugging that right side also puts my tires in a little bit of jeopardy. This is a creative route it's taken over to that supercharger. It's done this route before to get there. I'm always surprised by it. There is a faster highway to the north that it could be taken, and it's one that can cause FSD a little bit of gremlins. But this is the second time from my house that has taken me this way, which is probably only a minute or two slower, but is definitely like not a route I would think of taking to get there. It works perfectly well, but it just shows that FSD doesn't have my ingrained habits. It's got its own mind, and it likes this route a lot. I'm always curious about sometimes its rationale. Like I say, this is not the fastest way for sure to get there, but from my house, it loves this route to get to the supercharger, and it's just going to cruise on some city streets, so we're going to get a lot of interactions with cars and turning, and you know, it'll be pretty cool drive. And then on the way back, we'll take the highway back, no doubt. It won't come back this same route. Like I say, it's a little funny it takes this route. I like it. We have a school zone here. It is not a school day, it's a holiday today, Martin Luther King Day. So nobody's paying any attention to that. There's some sort of function going on at the school, but there's not children present. It's not a school day. It's not being enforced. But FSD would not pay attention to that, even if there were kids there. You know, it might slow down for a school bus or traffic that's already going slow. But if it's just got traffic flowing at 40 through a 20, it would go 40 and a 20 because it thinks it's 35, right? It really doesn't recognize school zones, this version, much. You know, it may in some select places. Maybe it's got some map data on it, but every school zone around here is like it doesn't exist. Now, on top of that, I would say the other interesting thing of note in this version is it has a few challenges with lanes merging or ending. Not so much if it's in the lane that's ending, because it merges in fine, but not being aware of the merge if it's in the lane that continues through. So it doesn't really behave nicely with other people. It will just keep on trucking and not let them over, even if they're slightly ahead or something. And look at that guy firing out. And that's perfect. Now see, we're going 9 over right here. This is a street where people do fly. It's also a street you can get a ticket on flying like this. So now I am curious that it's in hurry. And hanging out in this lane when it definitely wasn't the fastest car out here on the road. Let's take a look at the route here. We've got a little bit to go yet, 0.4 of a mile. I'd be getting over, so I'd be speeding up to get over at this point. That's one thing about hurry, is it doesn't always plan well for intersections. It does an okay job, but standard and chill both do a much better job at getting over in a timely manner. Hurry gets itself boxed into a corner once in a while where it's like waits a little long to get over, and then there's vehicles to its right or whatever, or its left, and it, you know, whichever direction it needs to get over to, and it can't get over. And I've seen it try and pull some fairly nervous, dangerous type stunts to do that. So a little something they could work on. Hurry mode still needs to think ahead for intersections. You know, because what it'll do is it will oftentimes hang next to this vehicle that's going to be a problem for it. And nice turn. I love that. There we are. Oh, perfect. Okay, we got flashing lights ahead. What's it going to do? Are those stopped? Are those coming? Those are coming. It is not getting over. So I will reduce. There we go. Okay. Well, that was disappointing. Usually, I've seen FSD in this version actually get over and stop when it sees emergency vehicles, but it did not do it. So there's a disengagement right there. Whoa ho 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 ho. That was just me disengaging. I don't think the car actually needed me to disengage. That vehicle was going psycho right there, so I did it. My fault, not the car's. The car was being very interesting. Let's put it that way. We have a right lane ending here. And it seems to be aware of that. Ooh, last momenting, but it did it. So, we had one real disengagement here. Like I say, the other one was just me like freaking out because I couldn't figure out what that car was doing. Not because FSD wasn't doing anything wrong around that car. But yeah, man, I don't know why sometimes it's paying attention to the sirens and the emergency vehicles and other times it's not. Something to work on, Tesla. I didn't expect to have a disengagement on this drive, but emergency vehicle, that'll do it to you sometimes. Really disappointed it didn't either come to a stop in the road or move over to the right. I just don't get it there, because I've seen it do it. So I think that's now just over 50% currently in terms of responding to emergency vehicles and stopping or pulling off to the right, or not continuing at a green until the emergency vehicle's gone through the intersection. But twice I've had it with emergency vehicles where it didn't do a thing. It just kept trying to cruise. It's like if that guy wanted to turn right in front of me into that street, I was blocking his way. So very, very disappointing. Sirens are pretty distinctive light patterns. And, most of these true emergency vehicles have at least two. So, clue in that, like, I assume it's trying not to, maybe the challenge is distinguishing between emergency lights and blinking red lights at signals. But signal's got a distinctive shape, positions, emergency lights on a vehicle that's moving. That's a whole different, it should be something they can reliably track. Plus the audio that's coming in an upcoming one. I should have told it too, because I could hear it. Are 2 minutes away right now from the Supercharger. Not bad at all. Oh, just looking down at the screen. Here we go again. Let's see. Gonna rock till you drop. You gonna get over? There you go. No. Nice. We're going to come in the back side. And I haven't had it auto park in the Supercharger from the back side. Coming from the front side of this one, it's auto parked in a Supercharger stall a couple times and even presented the charge port to me. But the other times when I've come in this back way, it's just pulled up and stopped. So we'll see what kind of behavior we get tonight. And as you can tell, I came out here at late in the 4 o'clock hour, and we're far enough north that It's just after 5 and it's getting dark. Man, such a treat though. I mean, watch this car go. It just doesn't have any struggles really. Like I say, it just needs to learn to handle certain situations better. But it doesn't struggle with what it knows. Usually it's like certain things it doesn't have the training for yet. Here we go. Beautiful. We got a Winco right here, and then we got a very nice so Winco does have some food and stuff. Where are you going, my brethren? Oh, you're gonna come around the front side of the Charger today. Nice. Well, this not the back side. That, and then we might park. We'll see. Last time it came around. Where are you going? Seriously? Okay. Yeah, parking lot hesitation. One of the normal things here that you get. Oh, you're gonna park somewhere that's not a spot, aren't you? Or are you? Are you gonna back in to one of the stalls? You're gonna back into a stall. Not bad. Not bad. That wasn't too bad. Excellent. All right, I'm just going to reposition her because, of course, one thing we do know is that it isn't the best at centering yet when it parks. It was close, though, this time. Now, I'll actually have it park in that spot with auto park, and look at that. Centers itself perfectly and rolls back in. Beautiful. All right. Here we go. What kind of wattage we gonna get, folks? Ah, 205, 210. Well, our peak B, we weren't below 10%, so we shouldn't get, we're probably not going to get 250, but let's take a look here. Pleasantly surprised. We did, precondition all the way here. 227 max. Nice. Now starting to creep back down. All right, I'm gonna go get something to drink. I'll be back in a little bit. All right, just finished up getting a coffee and a little snack over at Starbucks here at this version 4 dispenser, version 3.5 supercharger location that's pretty new. We have a Winco food store over there where you can get a bunch of food, a little deli, chicken, things like that. Over to the left, we've got a Starbucks and a Subway and a very good Thai restaurant. So good amenities here. There's a McDonald's right up the street as well. And so you've got food and bathrooms and stuff all right here. We are closing in on our charge limit. It says we have 4 minutes remaining right now, and about 25 minutes to charge from 14% to 80. And that's pretty typical in this car. Is about a 30-minute 10 to 80, so 25, 14 to 80. That makes sense. And so we're getting there. I started using FSD for personal reasons, and just recently decided to start recording it because it had advanced so far. And I could use it 100% of my drives, which I never could in the past. There were too many difficulties, too much robotic behavior in prior versions. This version gives me the confidence to take it pretty much anywhere. 100% of my drives since I purchased this car use FSD. Probably 99.5% of my driving is on FSD. There's the occasional disengagement for whatever reason. And then, of course, some parking in parking lots. But I started using it because last January, a year ago, I hurt my back. And my back has not gotten better, and insurance has been super slow dealing with it. So finally, looking at a February 12th appointment with a surgeon to set a date for surgery on my back. So that'll have been over a year since the injury. And that back injury has weakened my legs. It has made my legs very painful. Obviously made my back painful. And using FSD has just helped my mobility, helped me still be able to get to the office where I'm an IT manager and a facilities operations director. So I like to be able to check in on my staff, meet in person. I'm a member of a senior leadership team with an organization. So it is very helpful to be able to get into the office. And I was really worried with the amount of time it was taking to get to a resolution on this back issue, that there were just days where I didn't feel good enough to drive into the office. And I value that face-to-face time with people. So working from home's fine, but I like to have a good, healthy mix. So that's my FSD story, and kind of how I got involved with really starting to use it a lot was FSD advancing into its neural net era. And, instead of being programmatically instructed, it started using neural nets, and that really opened up kind of a natural way of driving, and just a much more human way of driving in the positive senses of how humans drive, not the negative. It's just really, really great in terms of comfort, in terms of overall reliability. I do have a couple of spots on my commute, depending on which route it takes to and from home, that can be challenging for it. And I'm excited to actually now be giving that data to Tesla so that they continue to improve the product. I will point out, honestly, when FSD has challenges, because that's the only way we're going to get to where it doesn't. So I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's an amazing piece of software. It's an amazingly mature at this point, but it's not ready to take over and drive itself 100% of the time. It's got a few blind spots that need improvement, and a few things that they had in some prior releases that they need to bring back, that I'll talk about in some other videos when we come across that. We are 1 minute away from going, so I am going to just say navigate home. All right, it's got the route in. That's awesome. And looks like I've got a phone stand that needs a little adjustment up here. And there that goes. We are almost done. I think it's calculating right now, so it's going to tell me we're complete here in just a second. And notice it isn't letting me implement full self-driving yet because we're still charging. And there it is, complete. Let's disconnect and get going. Alright, we are back in. I oftentimes pull ways up just so I can see the Polo Sia on the way home, and it gives me a second opinion on traffic as well. Oh yeah, this is going to take the other route. And look at that, FSD saying it's ready to rumble. Let's see how we do here. All right, and we're off. Man, charging is so easy. You know, pull into a supercharger, backs in, stick it in there for a few minutes, charges up, tell it your next destination, and you're off. Bro. Calm your tits, man. Sorry about that. That dude was flying up to that stop. Definitely actually made him slow down more because FSD was being very careful with him. He came up so aggressively. All right, let's see how it does. On the way home, we are going to hit 2 challenging points for it, although it is a lower traffic volume day because of being the Martin Luther King holiday. A lot of people are not working, so rush hour isn't going to be as intense as usual. But we are in it. So we'll see how much of a traffic backup we have when we get on the highway here. If it does it. Oh, and for safety's sake, while we hurried on the way here, we are not going to hurry on the way home. We are going to be in chill because the problem it has on this particular highway is one that is a safety disengagement usually. And if you come in hurry or standard, you know, can put me in a position where even from me understanding what's going on is because I'm kind of hoping it'll do the right thing, where I'm reacting to it a little late as well. So I definitely have learned my lesson on this route and said chill is the way to go. That's it's more likely to be where it needs to be. The real crux of the matter is the highway we're getting on is very much like a freeway with, you know, overpasses, underpasses, on and off ramps and all that suddenly turns into a city street with signals. And when it pulls up to that place where that transition suddenly happens, it simply doesn't slow down enough. As it approaches it, there's typically heavy traffic because of the nature of free-flowing traffic suddenly not being free-flowing anymore. And there's a 3/4 mile long right turn lane, which is the way we're going, that can back up 3/4 of a mile. Now that turn lane moves along pretty good because when you take that turn, there's 4 lanes for it to split into on the road it goes into. So it's not like it doesn't move and you're only there a couple minutes, but that doesn't matter. It's still a high volume right-hand turn lane. And really see here how this does. Very nice job getting in right there. Very much appreciated it doing that. And it didn't get into that lane that ends right here, so that's awesome. Now what we're going to see here coming right up is we're going to get to the 205 junction, which is Interstate 205, and there's going to be quite a bit of traffic on and off, which is why I would love to be able to be in standard or hurry, because I hate being in this lane for the on and off heavy traffic from Interstate 205 right here. But if I put it in that, then it tends to hang out in the left lane right up until that intersection where the highway kind of peters out into the city street, and it is half a mile past where that right lane is backed up to, and trying to get over to it, but oftentimes it's swinging around this bend to the signal, and it's coming in so hot it's just hitting its brakes super hard trying to avoid the cars that are stopped in front of it. See, here we go. We got a lot of merging traffic right here. And this is why I would like to not be in this lane, if at all possible, because there's a lot of on-off 205 stuff going on right there. So what's going to happen now is we're going to cruise here, and where this lane comes and joins us, it needs to get over there into that lane. You see this car that just angled over to us right here? That's because it's going to get over there right away. You notice a bunch of people are getting over there right away. Come on, Chill. Get over there. There we go. See, Chill is the only one that will do this. Gets over here. And this is a right turn lane only that begins 3/4 of a mile from the signal. And right here, you know, like I say, we don't have the backup. Normally this would be stopped here this time of night. Absolutely stopped in this lane. So not being over there until like way up here, trying to get over where we have another merge coming in, and those people trying to hop across, is a problem. You see how this traffic starts to get very unevenly backed up all through here, and you've got people merging to the left coming off of a on-ramp that comes on late, and people obviously trying to come over right to make this high volume turn. So it's a real challenge for FSD tonight. Handled it very well in Chill, and here will be get over and get in this lane. All right, I will actually shift it to standard at this point. If it gets through that in Chill, then standard's fine the rest of the way. I think the only other mistake it might make in standard is at a place where these two lanes become one each way. This road continues to scale down as it heads out into the countryside where I live. I live in a edge neighborhood on the edge. It's in the city limits, but it's in a rural area across a greenbelt and wetland and a big creek, and several big creeks actually. And so we're kind of an island out there. We're also right up against the first small mountain here. So we're going to see how this does. This road is an interesting road because speed limit is 40 on most of this road, but you will see traffic pretty often going 50 plus unless it's super heavy. And so you've got that, and nobody blinks twice at it. Obviously cops aren't pulling everybody over because everybody's going fast, because of course, while this isn't officially a highway, It kind of is, because that was Highway 500 we were on. We took a right onto this road, and then we're going to be back on Highway 500 in like a mile, because the official Highway 500 keeps going north there as a city street, then takes something called Paddon Parkway east, which is just a road like less than a mile north of us, and then drops right back down to this road again. Well, most people do not go up there, even though it has less signals, because the extra time going north and then coming back south isn't worth it. They just get on this road. So this is a pretty high volume road with a lot of commuter traffic, and big box stores. We're coming up on Walmart here in just a moment, which is one of the super Walmarts, and we have Safeway up ahead and a bunch of restaurants and stuff too. Right up to the left over here is a Kaiser medical facility, Kaiser Permanente, and that's a fun place to actually do an FSD challenge, getting out of there, because it does an unprotected left onto this road out of there, which is exciting, really exciting. So we'll do that in another drive coming up. Ah yeah, here we go. Chipotle, Mod Pizza, Dutch Brothers Coffee, Killer Burger, Wally's World over there, Starbucks here, of course. Now, if it stays in this lane, past where this narrows to just one lane each direction, it'll be fine, other than it may not let somebody over who needs to merge in from the right. Panda Express right here. Nice. Yeah, we come over here for food pretty often, and if we're doing a little shopping, we're just grabbing something quick to take home, especially. Then we'll go through another little business and residential mixed area right here. Got a lot of apartments off to the left, high volume of people commuting through that place. They're pretty high-end apartments over there. And now we're hitting the fast food zone, Taco Bell, the Human Bean Coffee, McDonald's. We got the Safeway right here, and we've got a bunch of little restaurants in here, some Mexican restaurants, a nice tap room over here at Safeway, and Burgerville. I don't know if any of you guys have ever eaten at Burgerville, but nice burgers and fries and stuff there. Now we're in standard. If we were in hurry, it probably would have swerved out of this lane over into the right lane, because of course there is room in that lane, and see people flying right past, going through over there, and getting an advantage on us. But this is the merge point right here. You can see there's a sign indicating it, and there's arrows there. Let this person in, please. Whew. Thank you. No disengagement tonight. There, I've had it just absolutely run up alongside people and not let them in there. Pretty good driving tonight. We had the one disengagement from the emergency vehicle, but other than that, it's been pretty nice. As you can see, this highway now, this is that same big thing that looked like a freeway. We're back on Highway 500 as of that last signal we came through. It came down from the north again and turns this way. But we just crossed over a creek, fairly large one, and we're at this roundabout we got coming up. We're gonna cross over a much bigger creek that feeds a large lake to our south called Lacamas Lake, and this is Lacamas Creek here. And so we literally like cross the creek right after the roundabout. It's almost part of the roundabout here. And FSD is always a really nice citizen and signals its intent where it's going to exit the roundabout. We just crossed the creek bridge. We got a nice little market here. That's kind of the closest little grocery mart to our house. We're coming in from the north here. And now this is just dark country highway here until you get to our neighborhood. Because what you're doing is you're leaving the city of Vancouver and you're going through some rural land here, and as you head south and east here, you're going to enter Camas at our neighborhood. So Camas is a town that's grown from like 15,000 people to like 40,000 people in the last 15 years. So really transitioning from small town America into a bigger city. So Camas has like a quaint old small town downtown, and also a big shopping district out on its east edge where it and Vancouver butt up against each other. But as you can see, even though there are a lot of traffic out here and quite a few new neighborhoods that are on this edge here of Camas and Vancouver, they have not improved the roads out here. This highway has no shoulder. None whatsoever. And just can be an interesting drive. And FSD's tendency to hang very left in the lane like it's doing here makes you really nervous. That's also where you can get scratched up on the blackberries that are growing out to the edge of the road along there. But it just loves hugging the white line on this road most of the time. So starting to go up onto Green Mountain right here. Got a few little nice tight corners coming up. Hey, the auto brights are amazing in this version. Also, the adaptive lights now that are here and in beta, but looking around the corner already. So nice. Oh, did you hear that? We were right on the soft edge there. It was fine, but this is a dicey little road situation here. And we are going slower than most people go on this road. I'm fine with it back in that corner going slow, but people kind of kick it old school. You know, they go 50 on this stretch, usually 10 over, because there's hardly any real turns here. Well, we've been in the city of Camas for the last mile or so. There's no real urbanness to it until you get right here. You notice we get a lane here. There's a neighborhood with about 300-400 homes off to our left now. And my neighborhood actually connects through to this part from further down over here. A few vehicles hanging out here. Interesting. Always some interesting stuff. There is DNR land for a lot of game hunting going on off to the right, and they're doing a lot of habitat restoration over there, native species and things like that. So a lot of deer and beavers and birds, different waterfowl are over on that land. And the lake begins just off to my right over there. That's why this road doesn't go through, because it would be running into the lake. Now we cruising up towards my house, and once again, this is a road that is 40. Used to be 50, now it's 40. But a lot of people still go that kind of speed, so if we're going 43, 44, we'll actually have people tailgating us. But, you know, I'm not going to cry too much because these are neighborhoods off to our left now, all along here. Notice the suicide lane in the middle. That's because they're just neighborhoods stuffed with people to the left now. So slowing down and going closer to that speed limit is what people should be doing. And there's a new neighborhood going in on the right there. So this whole area is just filling in with city. In fact, when we get to my house, one of the things you'll notice is the street dead ends, but it's about to go through. They're got the actual pavement in now, but they haven't started building the houses. But the farm that was just past my house is now turning into housing. So that's the way it is. Coming into our neighborhood, and we're going through a wetland and greenbelt area that is young and still maturing, past our pool and clubhouse here. And then just about home. And this has been a disengagement and even intervention-free drive home. Just about as smooth as it can get. Now, it will not park itself at my house, at least not properly. Oftentimes it doesn't even try. When it does try, it screws it up, because we got cars in the garage. So, there it is done. Now, I will back in, and I'm waiting for the day it can do this for me. Boy, sometimes that auto reverse, it's like, to activate reverse, turn the wheel. Well, my wheel is turned about as far as it can turn, you know. Here we go, backing on in, and way tighter than FSD is comfortable with. Getting to some boxes we need to unpack and get inside the house yet. And we're in. Beautiful drive, folks. Have yourselves a lovely night. I'll just say in summary that was an amazing drive. And I'm very thankful for FSD. Just got me over here to the charger and did a wonderful job. And I hope you all have a great night. Thank you.